Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and author of Get Resultsology, the science of getting stuff done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. I call this the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Laura Berman Fortgang. Laura Berman Fortgang, MCC, is known as a pioneer in the personal coaching field. She is a 5-time best-selling author, published in 13 languages, book award winner, sought-after speaker, TV personality, opera and all national morning shows, corporate spokesperson, interfaith minister and performer. Her TEDx talk currently boasts over 2 million views. Laura's best known for her unique career transition, Now What methodology, and her mentorship of coaches in her A-list coach program. Laura, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Robin.
You're very welcome. I'm really looking forward to this. Whereabouts in the world are you, Laura?
I am very close to New York City, just 15 miles outside of the city.
Oh, fantastic. On the other side of the Atlantic for me, but I feel a sense of closeness to you because there's only an ocean between us. Yeah, but that's me waffling on. That's all. Just an ocean. A mere puddle. All right. Shall we do the questions instead of letting me waffle on?
Of course.
I'll get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. Laura, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is a trained coach who's been at it for a couple of years, but not quite making the kind of money they want to make. And they're ready to get the guidance to make the money they want to make.
All right. And you've alluded to the kind of problem that you solve there, but perhaps you could elaborate a little bit more on the problem and problems you solve for those clients.
Sure. I mean, anyone can get certified as a coach, but not everyone can make an impact as a coach. And a lot of 82%, in fact, according to the International Coaching Federation, close up their business within 2 years. So the problem I solve is keeping businesses open and coaches making a living.
That's a very noble problem to solve. We like that. Yeah, you can stay. All right. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to solve that problem to some extent by themselves?
Well, I think a lot of people feel that they have to be some kind of social media star in today's world to make an impact. And that's not necessarily true. So I use the acronym of C.A.S.T to cast your net, C.A.S.T. And C.A.S.T are the 4 activities that you need to be doing as a coach to bring in business. You got to be coaching, you got to be authoring something. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be articles or blog posts, speaking, which is the #1 way to grow a coaching practice, and training or teaching. C.A.S.T, C.A.S.T, coaching, authoring, speaking, and training.
Love that.
And those are marketing activities.
Yes. And a nice connection there to your showbiz side as well. So I think that's perfectly neatly done. I see what you've done there. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, Laura, let's dive briefly into goal busting, focusing on to how to maximize productive time to achieve business goals. So could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits?
I think that what I find most valuable and what I find most valuable for my clients is to do the thing that you dread most first. To get that done, out of the way. It'll give you so much energy and it'll make you feel better about whatever other tasks you have to do during the day. When if you rely on the opposite of like, I'll put other easier things in front of it, and then maybe you never get to it, or maybe you spend 2 days stressing about it. And it really didn't require all that stress. It just required some action. So doing the toughest thing first, the thing you dread the most, that's my tip.
Yeah, and I think 2 days stressing about something, that's a minimum when you've got something like that going on. It can go on for months for some
This is
people.
true. This
And I
is true.
speak from experience there too. I'm not me,
I
I'm
was
not
being
pulling any punches.
generous.
You were being very kind, but you make a very valid point. I completely agree with you. And yeah, so yeah, but if only it was 2 days sometimes.
Sometimes
of
it's weeks, sometimes it's months, just putting it off and putting it off. And then, if you had just gone out to a Starbucks or to a coffee shop for a bit and got it done, it probably wouldn't have been that bad.
Yes, and everything else that suffers as a consequence because you've always got that nagging feeling in your mind. I should have done it. I should be doing it. Yeah, it's a simple
It,
point, but I'm deliberately highlighting it because actually it's a very powerful point and it
it's
deserves
such
to
an
be heard.
energy drain to be stressed about something hanging over your head. It's such an energy drain. It affects everything else that you do. So just, as they say with Nike, right? Just do it. Just do that tough thing. You can
Yes.
do hard things. That's what I want people to know. You can
Yep.
do hard things.
Absolutely. But I'm still not buying their trainers. But I digress. All right.
But
So
neither do I. Neither do I. But I like,
we just steal their
sometimes
we just steal their advertising logo. All right.
exactly.
So finally, Laura, what should I have asked you today that I didn't? And your answer, please.
Um, maybe the question would be, what is the biggest obstacle to my ideal client coaches succeeding? And I'll answer that. I find that we I'll put myself in the category, we as coaches, as accountability partners, whatever you want to call us, we love what we do. We may be several steps ahead of our clients and we want them to have results so badly, but the mistake that we're making is not treating our business like a business. That somehow, it's improving humanity, so therefore you can't ask for money, or underselling yourself, or giving too much away for free. So I find that the biggest obstacle is not treating the coaching practice as a business. It is a business. Have policies, have procedures, have packages, have price points, and there's no need to apologize for that.
No, and apart from anything else, when you're dealing with clients that are professionals at whatever level, whether they're professionals working in a big organization or professionals in just their approach, if you're not professional, why would they employ you?
Right, right. You've got to reflect that back to them. Yeah, in
Yeah.
fact, some people, even though everyone loves to get a good deal, they might wonder, why is it so cheap? If
Yes.
if you're someone who undercharges, that is.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And that was a staggering statistic you said earlier about 82% of coaches wrapping their business up in a couple of years. I was only staggered because I would have thought it was even higher than that, which is truly scary because impossible to say, but 82%, if even if that's spot on, that's a horrific number of often very brilliant people, and they're not succeeding for reasons that may have nothing to do with their skill sets, their passion, the thing that they're really good at.
Right. Like they have the skill set for coaching and they're well trained for that, but they don't have the skill set for being a business owner and having to be, chief cook and bottle washer and organizing all that and making it happen and spending time on the right activities like the C.A.S.T
Yeah,
activities.
absolutely. And so that's why we have people like you out there filling in the gap and helping people that want to do something about that in a very powerful way. So I really appreciate you coming on today, Laura, to talk about that. Thank you so much. We did that in the 7 minutes as well. So that was fantastic. So speaking of people being able to make use of your services, I always have a question at this point, which is it's a two-parter. The first part is how can people reach you? And the second part is because people aren't always quite ready to connect with someone they've not met before. They've heard a little bit about you today, but I always say a nice, valuable free resource. I always say it's a bit cheeky to ask for it, but in reality, I think it's a brilliant way of just getting to know a little bit more about your offer. And I do know, because we've talked about it beforehand, that for those people watching this or listening to this podcast fairly soon after it goes out, you've got something very exciting happening as well.
Yes. So if you want to find me, you just have to remember my name, and whether you remember the Berman part or the Fortgang part, you will find me. So laurabermanfortgang.com is where you can find me. And this event we're talking about is called Headliner, and it is for coaches who want to stand out from the crowd. It's coming up October 2025. And we will have a link to it with a special $96 off coupon. So you'll be able to get in for $1 US, where most people will be paying $97. And then we'll also have a free download for you about how to create your own signature program, which is something that I get into in the Headliner event. So I hope to see you there. I thank you, Robin, for having me on the show today.
That's fantastic. You're very welcome. And you'll see me in October as well. I hope you can cope with the shock of seeing me again, because that sounds really exciting. I don't want to be one of the 82%, and I'm sure our listeners don't want to be one of the 82% either. Be one of the 18%. That's the club to be in. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Laura, it's genuinely been a pleasure and an honor to meet you. Thank you so much for doing Goalbusters with us today.
Thank you.
So remember, everybody, please keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.